Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Inside Cape Cod. I'm Mina Greene. I have the pleasure this morning of having Cheryl Osmio with me today. Now, Cheryl is the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition Executive Director. I also have Peter Cardi and Ron Cardi, both here from Cardi's Furniture. We love you guys, owners of Cardi Furniture and Mattresses, along with your big brother, Ron. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about because you guys do this. And Cheryl, you do this every year. This is the annual Against the Tide event.
Well, for Cape Cod, it's the 27th year. In Brewster and in Hopkinton, it's the 34th year. Cardi's has been with us along the way.
I know they
tell
have. We always see their banners when we're down there at the pond.
Yep.
So, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. Great to be here. Another wonderful day on Cape Cod.
There you go. It's always a wonderful day on Cape Cod.
That's true. Once you get over the bridge, everyone decompresses, and it's a whole different world.
Absolutely. So we are talking two different locations, as always, Cheryl, and that is Saturday, June 20th at DCR's Hopkinton State Park in Hopkinton, 34th year, and then Saturday, the 27th of June at DCR's Nickerson State Park in Brewster. So we love to do this, and I love to come out every year with Lori, and we support this wonderful cause, and it's the Swim, Run, Walk. And again, it's the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition. So anything new this year?
So, we're excited to get together. People from all walks of life come to support one another. People who are battling cancer, people who have lost a loved one to cancer. It's all about camaraderie. And as you know, Mina and Ron and Pete, MBCC is a little bit different than some of the other organizations. Not better, but different.
Yes.
Our focus is how do we prevent cancer before it starts? The prevention aspect of this is very, very important. Mm-hmm. And so that's what our mission is all about. And so we really like to make sure that we spread the word as much as we can. And I think it resonates with people because people keep coming back.
Yes.
So we'd love it if people could consider registering at mbcc.org/swim. By the way, there's a virtual event as well from June 20th on Saturday to June 27th on a Saturday. So let us know if you're interested in that. And registration on the day of both the events is at 7 a.m., opening remarks and honors at 7:25, 7:35 warm-ups. National Anthem by Lori
yes,
from Coxswain
indeed.
Radio on the Cape at 7:45. And then the swim events begin USMS-sanctioned 1 mile, competitive 1 mile, recreational 1/2 mile, and 1 mile swims begin at 8 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, we have the USATF-certified 5 and 10K and the 3-mile walks. And proceeds benefit MBCC's work toward breast cancer prevention, both locally and nationally.
And, of course, I'm going to be there. I'm one of the supporters every year. I don't do the walk, though.
It's okay.
I do some of it.
We need you on the podium.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun when we're there. Gosh, I've been there for how many years now? 7, 8 years now. Just here with this station. It's an honor. And now, Peter, the Cardi brothers, how did you guys get involved? I mean, I know it was a long time ago.
Cheryl has got a great way to twist people's arms. So
no.
And your teammate we were convincing before we went on air and was talking about you guys out in the hallway and getting ready for this interview. So she is wonderful, does a fabulous job, and very understatingly, the mission of NBCC and what's so unique about it, as she stated, is they work on prevention. And that's kind of, we work with a lot of different groups, and we're blessed to work with many, many wonderful organizations. But Cheryl really is dealing with issues that most people don't even have a clue what they're doing. In our industry, it's an example, PFAS items. And these are things that are now in our stores. Ron?
We started a couple of years ago. Just for a backdrop on this, we had a sister also, aside from Nick, that passed from cancer a while back. And she was taken at 49, but the point is that you just don't know what you don't know. And so anyway, bottom line, the thing that's closest to us in terms of industry speak was the manufacturer of this stuff, and we wanted to make sure. So we started a few years ago with all of our manufacturers to make sure that this stuff was taken out. It's been going for a while now, but that's definitely something that Peter brought up that we wanted to make sure that we addressed, and so we addressed it early on.
Cheryl was at the forefront of that. So there's things like that, and there's so many things you could talk about that Cheryl and her team do wonderfully, and it's so behind the scenes, but it's about prevention. That is a huge undertaking.
It is. She's amazing. She's been doing this. Gosh, how long have you been doing this now, Cheryl?
No, I'm just kidding. No, since I was diagnosed, actually,
Yeah.
in 1991,
Wow.
I was embraced by some of the board members of the Mass Breast Cancer Coalition. So I served on the board as a volunteer for many, many years, almost a dozen. And then I helped with events, and then they asked me on a few occasions to consider signing on as an ED. I had parents that were ill, a brother dying of cancer.
Oh, gosh.
It wasn't something I could do. And then about 12 years ago, I did take it on, and I'm glad that I have. My job is not a job. It's work that I do to make a difference for future generations. This is what we need to do.
It's a mission.
It is a mission. It is a mission. When you've lost a family member to this disease,
Too many.
and Ron and Pete know what this is about, it changes you forever. And when you're diagnosed yourself and you know that your children and grandchildren are at a higher risk to be diagnosed, and this is not just about breast cancer. This is about
All cancer.
kinds of cancers.
Yeah.
Whatever we find out, whatever we discover as a result of what's causing such high elevated rates of breast cancer will lend a hand to help us figure out what is causing other kinds of types of
Right.
cancer and ill health. I mean, autism is on the rise.
Yep.
ADHD is on the rise. There are so many different kinds of health effects that are impacting people and children especially, that this is a job not for them to do, that's
No,
for sure.
definitely
This is a
not.
job for us to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, I lost my father and my brother to lung cancer. So
Oh, I'm so sorry.
they were smokers. You know, those were the days when they were smoking, and before we could get them to quit. Well, my father found out after he quit, but that was too late. But it's a horrible disease, and it just takes whomever it wants. It's not just due to one thing. And as you said, there's so many different causes of cancer in the world and on this planet. It's really hard to try to tackle them all. And that's why we do things like this. And that's why the Cardi brothers are here to talk to us about it and help spread the word, because it's touched all of our lives, and it touches a lot of lives.
You know, part of the reason why I love the Cardi brothers, Nairobi, is because you know, they just know how to communicate with the public and
Yeah.
to reach out to people in an empathetic way, in a caring way. They're smart. They pay attention to what's going on. I'd love it. I'm not the talk show host here. You are.
No, you're doing great. Go, girl.
But I'd love it if they could share everything that they do with Nairobi. How a childhood rowboat became a symbol of teamwork, hard work, and family, because that's the kind of family they came from. Come on, guys, let's do it.
Well, I mean, I think you can't change the way you are. I think your parents have a lot to do with it, so we got to give them credit for where that was. But from a perspective of the boat, if you really want to know,
I do.
The boat was a small rowboat, and it was basically given to us by our parents. It was probably the size of Peter's desk. It was tiny. And, you know, as kids, we were blessed to be able to be near the beach, and we had this boat, and it would row. But anyway, the bottom line was our great aunt Grace named it Nairope, like the rope that tied the boat. And then we put a little Italian accent on it, and it called it Nairobi. And it came from the first two letters of each of our names, N-I for Nick, R-O for Ron, P-E for Pete. And that's where the name Nairobi came from. And then we used it as an advertising code, so to speak, or phrase to promote the company. So from that perspective, it was just a subtle message that if you want to get anywhere, you're going to have to work. But in conjunction with that, they definitely, you know, we have a little book that was written internally by people that work for Peter in terms of in advertising, and it talks about the company. So, and the other thing that they said was to live life with your hand closed, and people can't put anything in or take anything out. If you leave it open, they can do such. So sharing and just doing what you can do. So everybody needs to help. I mean, we don't want to make this all about us, but the point is that if people do what A, they can afford to do, B, what they want to do and what's in their heart and in their mind, then it all works. So it doesn't matter, you know, you hear all the expressions from sometimes even from politicians, which we don't want to get into right now, but, you know, whether someone gives them $1 or $10 or $100, it's a matter of the thought. And I think with healthcare, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that was well done.
I just want to jump in and say it's not just about what they do to help us. It's what they do in so many communities. They're there. They're an integral part of the communities where they have their shops. By the way, where are your locations?
We're in Rhode Island, so Massachusetts on the Cape. And it's funny, when we first started on the Cape, we actually put on the trucks Cape Cod. And they said, well, isn't that Massachusetts? We said, well, we got in trouble once because someone said, Matt, we're in Massachusetts. They said, well, that's Hyannis. That's Cape Cod. We said, uh-oh. And so we want to make sure we clarify because we're in Hyannis on the Cape and also in Orleans, then right outside the Cape in Wareham, and then, of course, in New Hampshire and Seabrook, along with stores in Rhode Island, southeastern Massachusetts, and Rhode Island all the way down to Westerly. So Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and as our mom says, it's a lot of furniture to polish.
Yes, right. A lot of furniture to polish. I love that.
Ron and Peter are not old. They're not old. But they're not teenagers either. I mean, I am, but they're not.
Yeah.
But my son's a professor at Rhode Island School of Design, and this is funny. You know, a lot of kids come in when they're freshmen, and they just don't get organized right away.
Right.
And I get these calls from my son, Paul, and I go, you know, Mom, another kid bought a couch from Cardi's, or, you know, and they're always so helpful.
Yeah.
To their customers. Everybody, we have a huge truck. The neighbors wait for it. Pulls into my driveway to bring the banner. The guys get out of the car, we're taking pictures together.
Right.
It's just a big, happy family.
Yeah.
And they extend their family to all of us.
Yes. And the fact that, too, when you're coming into Massachusetts on 95, I mean, you can't miss the Cardis on the right.
No.
I always, whenever I'm coming back from New York, I'd see that and I'd say, oh, I'm almost home.
What I want to do is I want to get Ron and Pete in the water to
Now you guys-
participate
you're in trouble.
Either the 1 mile, the 1.5 mile swim. Someday, stop practicing.
We're waiting for the custom floaties, and then we'll come down.
Got to get those custom floaties. They're the best. So once again, we have 2 different dates. We have Saturday, June 27th at DCR's Nickerson State Park in Brewster. It's their 27th year. We also have Saturday, June 20th at DCR's Hopkinton State Park, and that's their 34th year. And also we have the virtual event.
Absolutely. Yes. So please, if you can't join us in person, by all means, definitely try to go online at mbcc.org/swim, and you can register until the day before, and walk-ins are welcome, and it's a rain or shine event. It's
Always.
a family event. You don't have to swim, run, walk. You can just come sit on the beach, have a cup of coffee.
And cheer the people on.
Absolutely. We have other sponsors that come. John Minogue, Attorney Minogue's office has representation.
Nice.
We have Oceanside Insurance, Ira Toyota. We have great sponsors who are there helping, and the volunteers are out of this world.
Yeah.
And everybody comes together very early in the morning, and by 12 noon, the event is over. So it really is a morning-only event.
And we're all friends. Everybody that
We
you
are
make
all
brand
friends.
new friends.
Yeah.
It's an incredible experience. I go every year because I want to support you, and I like to be there, and I like to encourage the runners. And
Thank you.
yeah, last year I kind of lied. I disappeared for a little while. I took a walk in the woods, and I came back and said, "Yep, just finished walking the whole mile." You know, and they're like, "No, you did not." But it's an amazing event, and you meet so many wonderful people, and so many people that have different stories about cancer and what brought them to Against the Tide, and why it's so important to them. It's really important to all of us. Cancer is a horrible thing, and we can't seem to get rid of it right now. But I love the Ropey story. That's fantastic.
We also want to thank Coxswain Media for all that they do to help us put this together. Without them and without you guys, this would not be possible. And it really is the spirit of everybody working together that makes this a true success.
And many of the supporters have been touched by breast cancer.
That's really the thing that's touching. Families who have, every year when we get to the beach, there's a few less people, to tell you the truth. And that's why the Mural of Honor, I think, is something that people love. You can come and fill out a little flag, walking, running, swimming in honor of and memory of a loved one. And so we have a woman by the name of Carol Mooney. Her daughter died in her 30s of breast cancer, and she comes every year, and she helps with that Mural of Honor, and with such passion and love, and with empathy to those people that come to the table.
That are going through it themselves, and she's been through
Absolutely.
it, but I mean, you never really quite get through it. It's
Exactly.
always with you.
And then we have Shaw's Supermarket on the beach with us. They have water stop. They have bars, breakfast bars. They have all kinds of fruits. Dunkin' Donuts. We have a gentleman by the name of Bob Bashar who lives on the Cape. He lost his son a few years ago to cancer. And he comes with his friends, and they set up the coffee and bagel table.
Yes, they do. We love those people.
I could go on and on about the support that we receive.
You run into the same people, too. Like, if they were there last year, chances are they're going to be there this year.
Yep.
Because they've made friends. They've made connections with people.
When you consider that over 310,000 new cases, we're just going to talk about female invasive breast cancer, but that's not counting all the different kinds of cancers that were estimated in 2024 and rising to over 321 in 2026.
Wow.
That tells you that we do need to pay attention to what's going on in our environment. And I know Ron and Pete have been very instrumental in being supportive of our environment. I want to just say that out loud. 1 in 8 women, 13% in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer. The 5-year relative survival rate is about 91%, rising to over 99% for cases diagnosed at localized stage. And then we have male breast cancer, accounts for less than 1% of cases, with roughly 2,670 new cases, with 530 deaths estimated for 2026. And I have to share that one of our volunteers, who I just spoke with the day before yesterday, it touches my heart and brings a tear to my eye. I called him and I said, "Are you going to be coming back and helping us this year?" He said, "I'm coming back and helping you this year. And I'm reaching out to all of my co-workers and friends to come back and help too, so give us jobs to do." He said, "My father had," and he mentioned a specific kind of cancer. He said, "but recently was diagnosed with breast cancer."
Wow.
He said, "Cheryl, I didn't even know
Oh, yeah.
that men could be diagnosed with breast
Of
cancer."
course.
I said, "Well, I remember the days at the Hopkinton event when Peter Devereaux, a Marine who had served and had been living at Camp Lejeune for many, many years.
Oh, yes, Lejeune.
He and over 80 Marines had been diagnosed with breast cancer because they had been drinking and showering in benzene for years and years.
Who knew?
And Peter that year, Devereaux said to us, he said, "I don't think I'll be back next year." And he died 2 weeks later.
Oh,
so
good
men
Lord.
are diagnosed with breast cancer.
Of course they are, yes. It doesn't discriminate between men and women. It's just, you're going to get it, you're going to get it.
And while age and risk, and they say over 80% of breast cancers occur in women over 50 years old. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend who mentioned to me that a woman who's very fit, 31 years old,
Oh, God.
diagnosed with breast cancer last week with metastatic disease to the hip. The poor woman never even got past chemotherapy and radiation, and she was already diagnosed with metastatic disease. So I'm not saying this to scare anyone. I'm just saying we have a job to do.
We do.
We have a job to do. We need to pay attention to the statistics. We need to pay attention to the facts, and we need to put a face on this disease.
Yes, we do.
And the people, the sponsors that come out and help us, like Coxswain. Coxswain Radio has been with us
Forever. We love you.
forever. And on the beach with us, helping us with free advertising all year long. I mean, the event ends. The event ends in June, and you're advertising it again in June.
Yeah, I know. And we're talking, we're giving them the stats. We're getting the money, all the product, everything that went on.
It's no wonder we stay afloat.
It is fantastic. And so let's just give a rundown really quickly because we haven't done that about the event,
Okay.
of the day's event. 7 a.m. is the registration. 7:25 a.m. is opening remarks and honors. Then we have the warm-ups at 7:35. At 7:45, the national anthem. Lori, Coxswain Media will be definitely going to be singing that.
She's the best.
She is. Then the events start, which is exciting as well, 8 a.m. We've got the USMS sanctioned 1 mile swim. We've got a competitive 1 mile swim. We have a recreational half mile and other 1 mile swims. Also the USATF certified 5K, 10K runs. Those I can't do. I might walk behind them, but I can't. And then, of course, at 9:05, the 3 mile fitness walk. So it's a jam-packed schedule.
It really is.
And it's just the camaraderie and people that are meeting for the first time. We're all there for a common goal. So that makes us compatible with each other.
Thank you for that.
It's amazing.
I also want to invite people to go to our website at mbcc.org. We have student modules suitable for teachers, students, and parents, caregivers, to take a look at modules for the classroom or at home, reducing household toxic exposures, understanding tap water, cell phone and wireless exposure, what is PFAS, drinking water and PFAS contamination, and tips to reduce toxic exposures, how to minimize your exposure to toxins in your everyday lives. Those are available in 11 languages.
Wow.
The student modules are in English, but we're presently working with University of Massachusetts, and they are helping us with the elementary school, middle school, and high school student modules. All of this is free.
Great.
On our website.
It's wonderful. I know. I don't know where the time goes, Cheryl, but I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Peter and Ron, Cardi, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for all of the support that you have given Cheryl and this cause over the years. It's incredible. We really appreciate it. So, of course, the owners of Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses. And also Cheryl Osmio.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys are amazing. Every year. And Cheryl, it's a relief for Cheryl because she knows that you're going to be there to help back her up. And that's just so important. Also, we have Cheryl Osmio, NBCC Executive Director. And
I just wanted to say, I want to thank Coxswain Radio,
Oh,
the radio
thank
station
you.
with a heart,
oh,
for caring as you do.
so sweet.
And again, Cardi's furniture and mattresses.
Of course.
It's the only furniture and mattresses that I have in my house
Good
or
for
my
you.
kids' homes.
Good
Thank
for
you,
you.
everybody, so
Thank
much
you
for
all.
your caringness.
I really appreciate your time, you guys. Thank you so much. And Cheryl, thank you. And I will see you on Saturday, June 27th.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Inside Cape Cod, heard every Sunday morning at this time on all 4 of our Coxswain Media Stations. Until next time, I'm Mina Greene.